Hi Mom, time for lesson 2. Lesson 2 is all about the buttons on the Kindle. So as a review, here's the Kindle. We need to turn it on. We're going to push that, then the green light comes on. There it is, the home page. So the Kindle is a lot like a regular book. You want to turn the page. First we're going to select the book we want. And we're going to use this button. I'm going to go down to an astronaut's guide. See how the line went down there? And then I'm going to hit enter. It starts off with chapter 7 because when I was playing around with it, that's the last chapter I had it on. I'll show you how to move around in a little bit. But key thing here is if you want to read this and turn the page, this is the next page button. It's part of the edge. So between here and here is next page. I push it. Now I'm reading the next page. Push it again. Reading the next page. Push it again. Reading. Oh, I didn't quite finish the last page. Then between here and here, this is previous page. So I can go back a page. Now I'm using these on the right hand side because I'm right-handed. So I go forward, I go back. I go forward, read, read, read. But if you're left-handed, you can turn to the next page here. Turn to the next page. Turn to the next page. Or go back. Go back. So they're the same on both sides. Between here and here is next page. And then between here and here is the previous page. So it's like going back. Then there's some little buttons here, which I'm sure you can't see, they're too small, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4 little round buttons. And then there's the center button that's square. And it has a little arrow going up, an arrow pointing to the right, an arrow pointing to the left, an arrow pointing down. And then there's a square button in the middle, which is kind of like an enter button. So I was going to show you a little bit bigger. The left button is the back button. It looks like an arrow because it takes you back to whatever you were doing before. This button is the keyboard button, and if you push it, you get like a little typewriter keyboard show up, and that's why this is supposed to be a picture of a keyboard. This is the home button. It looks like a little house, and this is the menu button, and it just has some lines, which is kind of a lot of cell phones now, if they have the smartphones, have a menu button on different screens. So this is the menu. Even on the websites, if you go to a website on your computer, there'll be a menu button sometimes with the little lines. So back button, keyboard, menu, home, and then up, down, left, and right, and then enter. So I'll show you just a little bit how that works, and then we'll go to the next lesson. So if I want to go home, that's a really good one to use, the home button. I push that. It takes you back to the very first page. And if I want to, let's see, maybe I want to read The Boys in the Boat. So I have to scroll down to it. So it kind of scrolls like a mouse does. I go down. Now it's in An Astronaut's Guide to Life. Down again, Beneath the Scarlet Sky. Down again, The Boys in the Boat. Now that's the book I want to read, so I'm going to push the enter button. Enter. There you go. The Boys in the Boat. 9 Americans in their epic quest for gold at the 1936 Berlin Olympics. Another thing you can notice is it tells you, doesn't give you the page number, it gives you the percent you're at. So it goes from 1% to 100%. And the reason it does that is, in a real paper book, hardback or paperback book, your page numbers they have numbers on them. But because your screen is not the same thing as a page in the book, if you have really large print, it will take several screens to read one page in the book. And if you make it really small, you might get more than a page. So instead it tells you the percent you've read. So if you get to a 50%, that means you're halfway through the book. 100% means you're all the way through the book. So back button, keyboard, See the little keyboard that shows up? And menu. Excuse me. I'm going to do menu here. So there's a menu that shows up and the home key. And I'll show you more later. So as a review from last time, we're going to turn this off. We're going to push it and hold it. There we go. It's off. See you later.